because Northfield is a team that plays a lot of the other teams in Section 1AA, and as a full disclosure kind of thing, I work very closely with the Owatonna program, and in the Owatonna program, they think they have a leg up on Lakeville North because Northfield just beat Lakeville North and Owatonna just beat Northfield. So coaches are going to have to mull over all those options when seeding time comes around. And will a Lakeville North team that currently has 6 wins on the season find themselves in a home playoff game? We're going to find all that out on Sunday. Right now tonight, we're going to see how North and Eagan score off. We're underway as we wrap up on the Coldwell Banker Liz Sandwick pregame show. Roy with you on the call, Jeremy on the camera, and we are from the Luther Burnsville Hyundai broadcast booth. Lakeville North is in white, and yes, we've got to get to our CertaPro Painters uniform spotlight shortly. Lakeville North is in white with the black breezers, a lot of red trim, and Eagan in blue with white numbers. No, it does not get a good shot on. It trickles in on Eigner. So there you go, red and white, the colors for Lakeville North. Tonight they're white with the black numbers trimmed in red, black breezers, and of course blue for Eagan with green being another primary color. You can get all the colors and great customer service from your local CertaPro Painters. Call Scott McCabe at 952-890-7184. That's 952-890-7184. CertaPro Painters Uniform Spotlight. North out of their zone for the first time. That's a little in front of Schultz, and then it'll be tapped the other way onto the stick of O'Leary. Wide of goal into the corner. Peterson wraps it out to neutral ice. And Prouty tosses it over to his defensive partner, and then an effort to return it was knocked down by Schultz, but didn't get a scoring chance out of that. Fired out of the zone, bouncing through neutral. This is J.J. Cox back on it. Cox being run over by Woog, but still they work to clear the puck. Loose puck there at center ice, picked up by Bachmeyer, throws it in. Lakeville North changes everyone on the fly. Just over a minute in. Outlet pass forward. Wood tips it through center ice. Weiland jabs at it on the near wall and fired in by Robbins, a senior, 19 points on the season for him. I mentioned Eagan has a little bit more scoring punch as North gets a rush going here. Sullivan on the left, and he has run off the puck. Kerr then takes it around the back of the net. North retrieves it. Weiland fires on net, bounces around off of the goalkeeper Gly. And we might have an icing whistle. There is the whistle. Gleich. It's pronounced Gly. Gabriel Gly, a senior keeper, 10-8 record, 3.10 goals against, and an .881 saves percentage. He wears the number 1. Eigner at the other end, a senior, 4-10-1 on the season, 2.93 goals against. So he has a slightly better percentage there and a .906 saves percentage. I mentioned Capital Construction blueprint to victory. Lakeville North is going to need a good game from Eigner. Again, Eagan, a team that scores a little more. On the Eagan stat chart, 6 of the Wildcat players, another icing, 6 of the Wildcat players have more points than North's top scorer, freshman Gunnar Conboy, who has 17 points. So this Eagan team has 6 players who have more than 17 points on the season. Getting back to that tight defense being important, your Capital Construction blueprint to victory. Almost 2 minutes in, shots on the board show 1-1. Around the back of his net, Forrester loses the puck, stolen away by Decker, and then Decker run into the half wall. Lost his footing, lost his stick. In there is Thompson for North, taken in by Clark, tosses it along the back wall, and Wildcats work on the breakout. There's going to be icing once again, a lot of those here early on. North will close the season at Farmington. I guess the game is at 1 o'clock. Other things say other times. So consult your local listings, I guess, and keep an eye on GameTimeMN.com. At Farmington Saturday, I'm told by the coaching staff it's a 1 o'clock game, although the hub and other things have different times for that game. Weiland streaks back to that one, gets his stick on it just before Wu gets there, but the Wildcats will work on it. Along that back wall is O'Leary. Comes out, shoved away from the puck by Weiland. Nice job. Breakout a little too strong for Schultz. And now North is guilty of icing. Tight games in the case of Eagan. In games decided by 2 goals or less, They are 6-5. Lakeville North in games decided by 2 or less, 3-8-1. So a lot of close games, I should say. That's goals decided by 2 or less. Shot didn't get through traffic, but North has lost the bulk of those tight games. Schultz backhands it in deep. Wood dashes in front of him, but Schultz throws it along the back wall, stolen there by Moore to start the breakout for Eagan 3 minutes in. And I realize I've got to get my scoreboard posted. I think I'd never done this before. Let's get that scoreboard posted. No score in the game. And we'll get the clock figured out here in a little bit. It's pushed into the zone. Grabbed by Martin. No score in the game. No score. Martin skates in. Shot. Fought off. Maybe it went a little high. Loose puck. Kept in. Right out front. Robbins unloads that pass. He was looking for Kerr. They didn't quite make the connection. Here's a breakaway pass ahead for Schultz. He's in on his own. And what a save by Gley. Off the stretch pass, breakaway, Gley up to the challenge to keep it a scoreless game 3.5 minutes in. Tip down the ice, Eagan trying to respond with an offensive rush. Didn't get that going as Gilquist, wearing number 20 today, Gilquist in on the mix on that one. All right, I got to get my clock set here. 1-3, 1-1. All right, we'll see if I can get that activated. All right, first period, no score, 13 minutes and change to go in the first. Could be a 2-on-1. Moline has a man who tips it. That was tipped by St. John. Then over to the far side post. North developing some nice scoring chances early on here with just 2 shots on net, but certainly a couple of grade A chances. No shot on net off that last attempt, but it still looked good. Coming through center is Coink Prong. That's bounced in deep. He chases to the corner, drops it, set out front, tip through the crease, and then pinned. Oh, the official lost sight of the puck. I don't think it was frozen. But Eigner did a great job keeping it out. He had that toe, that skate on the near side post to keep it out. And then it must have trickled around, but the official lost sight of it and blew the whistle. Eagan, by the way, has won, 3 of their last 5 games? So they've been playing well. I mentioned that Lakeville North has been playing well against some very good teams lately. And talking with Coach Taylor before the game, he feels a top 4 seed not out of the question. And if they close real strong, he even tossed the number 3 around. Coaches will all decide that this weekend as Eagan back in their own end, approaching the 5-minute mark of the first period. Pass defensed well by Deweese, and then it's forward. Oh, they were looking for another breakaway chance for Jacobson. Now Eagan on the counter punch from a tough angle put on. Eigner will reach over and stop that. It was Prouty who put it toward the front of the net. Edward Moore, where's the number 14? He's skating out there right now, just entering from the right of your screen. Moore, one of the captains, he's the leading scorer for Eagan at 8 goals and 16 assists. And then number 11, Kerr, is the second leading scorer for the Wildcats, who average a little over 3 goals per game. And he swings and fans on it, does more. Could get numbers here, 3-on-2 up ice. Conboy in, and his pass, centering effort, is deflected up into the netting. And that'll stop things now. Luther Burnsville Hyundai broadcast booth. We'll be watching for our Lakeview Bank money moment of the game. Could it be a missed breakaway chance early on in this one that the Panthers had? The money moment as Weiland shot on, save held onto by Gley with a screener falling down on top of him as well. Thrivent agent Scott Kretschmar presents any timeouts during today's contest. Breakout onto the stick of Moore. Long pass ahead for Kerr. Steps away from Weiland. Lost his stick in the process. Swooping down to grab it. Thompson behind his net. And their forechecking is Robbins. Now shot, save, rebound is loose. The shot was triggered by Martin. Isaac Martin, a senior defenseman who has 1 goal on the season, but put that one on. Weiland in the corner. He's back there. Robbins is back there with him for Eagan out front. And a nice steal by Conboy. The freshman works it out off the dashers, and now through center ice goes Thompson. And he will ring it in. They were offside, though. North will work on this opportunity for a line change. Under 11 minutes to play in the opening period here from Ames. Final home game of the regular season. At Farmington for the next game. Eagan will be at Rosemount on Thursday for their, I think that's their final game of the regular season. Big section game for them. Deep in his own end is Bachmeyer. Rims that around and skating down for it on what will have an icing against the Panthers. Rosemount, the top team in 3AA, but their record is not a whole lot different than the second team based on QRS Eastview. STA, Park Cottage Grove, Crete Durham Hall, Two Rivers, Eagan, Hastings, they all have pretty similar records. QRF has 7 right now for Eagan. Coaches feel they should be a 6, as that shot is triggered by Lockenmeyer. And the coaches in that section will also have a big decision to make on how the seedings break down in 3AA for these Wildcats. Shot, nice block. Good block by Cole Peterson, the junior forward, laid out on that one. Backhanded in by Murray. Back to pick it up, Gilquist. Gilquist gets pinned against the back wall, turned over, pass across, bouncing puck, then chipped forward by Bachmeyer. Dashing now toward that loose puck, getting there first while under duress, spinning and throwing Forrester. Here comes Eagan through with Prong, a rebound try, and Eigner comes flying across the goal mouth to make a huge stop. Shots right now 6-3 in favor of the Wildcats. There's no score. And a whistle and an elbow call. Elbowing against North. Weiland goes in. Time here is 7:22. So Eagan will have the first power play chance of the game. Power play for the Wildcats in a scoreless game. Puck is tipped. It was tipped just enough by Nelson for the Wildcats to be forced to go back out to neutral ice to set things up. Eagan 14% on the power play. Lakeville North 74% on the kill. Robbins just leaves that for Martin. Here comes Eagan. Power play, another 90 seconds left on it. Cox can't get enough on it. On a second effort, does. North will change a couple of the penalty killers. New on the ice and going in on the forecheck there is Conboy. And Decker is out there, as well as Cox remaining out there, and Brunello, the 4 killers right now for North. 105 on the power play chance for Eagan. They get a new guy on that was held in the zone. Now Murray looks, throws it back over to Prouty. Prouty's shot, save, guided to the back wall. Robbins. A pass deflected, and North triggers it down the ice. That was Caden Decker, the sophomore. North changes all 4 penalty killers this time. And that puck is not out. Kept in O'Leary. Another chance to clear it. Banged hard through the corner by Gilquist. Not out. He gets yet another try, and this time succeeds. He was not going to go 0 for 3. 25 seconds left in the power play. We're past the midway point of period number 1 in a scoreless game. Anticipated a tight game. Some of these games late in the season have been very tight for Lakeville North, certainly. A 1-0 loss to South, a 1-1 tie with Prior Lake. Backdoor look, and then they had a man wide open. Just didn't get a good pass over to O'Leary. Out of the corner, out front. Tried a backhand pass, not much on it. Now Lockenmeyer shot and a pad save. Then that one goes off the upper body, it appeared, of Eigner. North is back to full strength. There's a save, and the puck deflected to the corner by Eigner. 8 saves by him already. 3 shots on goal for North at the other end. Player trips up. No penalty on that. Just tripped up over another skater. Nelson, rink wide. Schultz broken up by Prouty. He'll carry it in. Prouty, crossover, shot that's deflected and goes high up into the netting. here on this fan appreciation night tonight at Ames Arena. Did you get the free popcorn, Jeremy? Free bags of popcorn to the fans here tonight. Fan Appreciation Day, final home game of the regular season for the Panthers. Even strength hockey, offensive zone face-off from Eagan's side of things. Wide of the net. Peterson hustles to it over there. Cole Peterson, a junior, up to Schultz. And then he'll have to get onside. I think he must have been offside. He scrambled back to the other side of the line. This is Moore. Moore drops it off. Kerr flings it around. Right behind the net was Robbins. Turned over. Schultz on the breakout. That should be a whistle for an offside, and that'll stop play with 6:45 to go in the first. We'll have the Jill Henning State Farm intermission report coming up. Taking a look at some of the notes for Lakeville North. Lakeville North, congrats to the dance teams on getting back to the state meet, state competition later this week. Early this week, Nordic and Alpine ski going on up in Biwabik. You got to go awfully far north to find snow in Minnesota, I think. Maybe they even had to make it up there, I'm not sure. Now, no icing here. North back on it, 6.5-minute mark to go in the first. Through center ice. Back in. Wildcats have to get onside. Wood dumped it in. Cox picks it up for the Panthers. Cox didn't quite connect on that pass, and an icing is pending. And there's the whistle. Farmington, the destination on Saturday, and then playoffs begin next Thursday. The top seed in 1AA will get a bye. By contrast, the bottom two seeds in 3AA will play a play-in game. And Eagan does not think they would be in that scenario of being in the play-in game. But frankly, it is possible that the Wildcats could be. Shot just missed hard off the back wall. Kicked at by Eigner. He couldn't corral it and then kind of kicked it forward with his right knee. Under 6 to play in the first. No score. Nice hit by Weiland. It takes Clark out of the play for a moment or two. Players reaching for the puck. Turned over. Weiland ties up with. Throws the puck down the ice. We'll get a whistle and an icing here, but Lakeville North was scrambling a bit in their zone. They'll take the whistle and some fresh legs to come on out. BTD Manufacturing presents our hard-working player of the game. If you're looking for a career change, visit btdmfg.com. Find out how hard work can pay off for your career. Big defensive zone draw for the Panthers, and Bachmeyer will take it as Moore wins it. Pulls it back to Prouty. Poked at by Gilquist. Now loose in front of the north net. Ahead, Prouty backhands to keep it in, a junior on defense. Bouncing off some players. Kerr fed that one over to his right, and it was dumped in deeper by Murray. Out front, backhand try, kick save off, looked like off the knee again by Eigner, making a couple of saves with his knee. Van Eigner, 2.93 goals against, 906 saves percentage. He's 9 for 9 in this one, the senior goalie. For North, 5:14 in the period remaining. North, out with it. Decker gets in. He's got a player in front, Thompson. Instead, Eagan to come out of their zone. Kerr, Weiland, and Kerr collide right at the score table. Everybody stays on their feet. And then tossed in the zone by Brunello. Stopped behind by Gley, who had that highlight reel save early on the breakaway by North. Convoy trying to pull it for a offensive zone possession time, but instead, North will be back on defense once again against Eagan. Rink wide, taken by Thompson. And the big junior forward will take it through. Drew Thompson, 5 goals, 9 assists on the season. There's a shot and a save by Gley as Thompson snapped off that shot. Behind his net, Forrester. Kicked at on a pass that wasn't right onto his tape. Circling back, O'Leary. Closing in on 4 minutes to go in the first period. Scoreless game, 9-4 shots in favor of Eagan. And with the puck was Zwerdling being worked over a bit. Check that on the near side here. Jacobson, Zwerdling was there as well. Jacobson also on that near side for North on defense. Hard off those back boards. They seem very bouncy. At the blue line, kept in by Wood. Now trying to walk off the wall was Woog. Now Wood. Knocking down that rim attempt was Cox. Still kept in the zone, however. Steinke on the side wall. Bouncing puck. Right there on his own. Can't get off much of a backhand, though, is Cullen O'Leary, the senior. Then arms around the back of the net, puts that on, and that time it's Eigner who was able to square up and make the save. But very good chance for Cullen O'Leary. The senior just couldn't get off much of a backhand. He was 1-0 with the goalie with under 3.5 to go in the first. Zeros on the board. Looking over his left shoulder is Eigner. Then it's Sullivan out of the zone. Murray comes over to Martin. Blue to blue. It goes all the way deep in. It was touched along the way. Shoveled through the corner by Brunello. He gets dumped down to the ice. Pass out front. Great breakup that time by Gilquist on the centering pass. Spinning, dumping it in is Koink Prong. Now Lockenmeyer. Player in front goes in. Backhand. And I don't even know who knocked that down. If it was knocked down or if Eigner made the save. Here's a look. That time definitely shot was blocked by the guy without a stick. Wyatt Brunello. Now a 2-on-1 going the other way. And the pass across, in, close, shot, save, rebound opportunity, puck in the crease, covered up. Trailing on the play was St. John as Gilquist was feeding it over to, I think it was Sullivan who was down there with them. So they had a nice 2-on-1. So Gley hasn't had to make a lot of saves in this first period, but several that he has made have been tremendous. 2.5 in the period. Eagan gets control in their zone. Comes rink wide to Kerr. North puts up a good wall. Schultz muscles it through center. Weiland looking for somebody to hit. He collides with Moore. Tip through center ice. Weiland will retreat forward, a junior on defense. Kerr putting on the pressure. Left for Cox. Another senior on defense. Passes. A little bit of a dangerous pass, but he threaded that through. Now a stretch pass, looking for another potential offensive opportunity. Lost at center and fired up and out of play. Eastview is at Apple Valley Burnsville tonight. Mankato West at Prior Lake. Lakeville South at Rosemount is intriguing. And Farmington at Shakopee. Shakopee top team in the league. And top, what are they rated right now? They're rated number 7. Although if a new poll came out today, I have not seen it. I'm working off last week's rankings. Minute 45 in the period, no score. Shots 11-5, Eagan. Thompson going back for it on the forecheck defensively, Forrester. Now it's Robbins down the ice, and we will get a whistle and another stoppage. That is a lot of icings in this first period. Stay tuned. The Jill Henning State Farm intermission report is just a couple of minutes away as we bring you action from the Luther Burnsville Hyundai broadcast booth here on lnpanthers.live and GameTimeMN.com. Eagan wins control in their zone, and then Cox kicks it to create a turnover. Thompson trying to shovel it forward. Misfired on that. Big hit, dumps Clark. That big hit by Weiland. He puts the body on people pretty well. Tracking back for it, Martin. Pressure being applied by Conboy. It was a steal. A feed to the point for Cox. That shot trickles wide right. Now flying forward, Lockenmeyer in on his own. He shoots the save, a rebound, goal! Lockenmeyer will break the 0-0 deadlock, and Eagan scores first at 16:03. So Lockenmeyer, a breakaway rebound goal at 16:02 of the first. Unassisted for Lockenmeyer. Well, Eigner's been there for everything, but that rebound was just too good for Lockenmeyer not to cash in. So 1-0 Eagan lead with that goal in the closing minute of the first period. 13th shot on goal by the Wildcats. Along the back wall, St. John. Puck got a little bit in front of him. St. John drops it off. Going trying to center it. That's broken up. Sprinting the other way, you've got Kerr and Robbins. Robbins, a shot, save to the corner. Kerr picks it up, 20 seconds. North gets a rush. Moline ahead, a breakaway chance, and coming out is Glide to deny Sullivan any chance to make a move at the end. All the way to the other end of the ice, but no icing. And Weiland, that one is turned over, pass down low. Robbins, tough angle try. Save, and at the buzzer, the puck is behind the goal. Well, a pretty exciting first period here from Ames Arena as Lakeville North finds themselves down 1-0 after one. Shots 14-5 in favor of Eagan, and one period in the books with Eagan 0 for 1 on the power play.